To go over how to write a deposit slip and how to write a check. So these are the basics of a deposit slip, and this is going to be on your assignment page, so you can refer back to it. So this is just a basic deposit slip. It's going to ask you to write the date, obviously your name and your account number. Remember, you need to always keep your account number secret. You don't want to give it out to anybody because the more information somebody has, the more likely they can um, use your account and take your money for things that you don't want them to do. Um, and the signature for the deposit slip is only required if you're going to be taking cash out once you deposit. So it's not required if you're just depositing money just to keep in the bank. Okay, so then when you come to this side, you'll see it will ask you here, currency basically just means cash or coins that you're going to put in. And that's separate from checks. And if you see here, this person is putting in two different checks, right? And sometimes it will ask you in this blank space here to write down the check number, and I'll show you where that is on your individual checks. Um, and then it'll ask you to subtotal, and if you're going to take cash, so this person is going to take $25 in cash, that would be what you would then do the math and subtract the 25 from the 276. And then, so what would be deposited into your account is 251, and you're asking for 25 back. Okay, so let's do it together so you understand exactly what I'm talking about. So here we have Tracy Jones. She's finally decided to take the advice of her parents and open a savings account. For her first deposit, she decided to deposit $60 in cash from her dad and a check from her job, which will be $224. The check number is check 196. Help Tracy write out her first deposit slip for her savings account. So we go to right here, and this is what the deposit slip would look like. So you would put the date. Obviously, I can change this because this is the wrong date, because it is the 8th. Okay. Always write 2020. It's very, very important, because if you leave 2020 off, people can try and take advantage of you. So make sure you write out the full date like I have it right there. And then you put Tracy Jones. Here she's putting $60 cash, $224 in a check. It doesn't ask for the check number here, but other deposit slips from other banks are different. This one is from Chase, obviously. And then she added up the total. She's not taking any money out, so she doesn't have to sign here. The thing that she is missing is her bank account number, which we go here. So we can add that real quick. Okay. Your bank account, again, it's got to be, it should be secret. Try to memorize it. Don't put it in your phone. Don't put it under notes and this is my bank account. It's not something that you want shared, right? You want to keep it as secret as possible. Okay, so now it comes to writing a check. So again, this will be on your handout for this week. So this is the basics of check writing. This is all the information. So for the date, you would want to put the date that you want the cash to be available. So for example, if your rent is due on July 1st, you want to write July 1st, right? If you're not going to have the money in your account until July 1st, you want to be specific about when the person can cash it. Because as soon as it's cashed, or as soon as it's given to the person, then they can cash it, and that money's going to come out of your account. And if you don't have the money to cover it, then what's going to happen is you're going to be overdrawn, which means you're going to have to pay fees. You took too much money out of the bank than you had. So that equals a lot of fees, it equals a lot of maintenance fees. So you don't want to ever overdraw your bank account, okay? And again, I know this is 2018, but write out the date, 2020, because then someone can change the date on you, because 2000, they can make it 2018 or 2021. They can change the date then. So always write out the full date, 2020, okay? Most checks are personalized, and they'll have your name up here on the top. If you obviously you guys aren't over 18, so the account would be probably with your parent or guardian. So it might say your name and then your parent or guardian's name. That you can take off once you're 18. You go to the bank and just prove that you're 18. But some of you would have that. So pay to the order of is the payee. That's who you're giving the money to. In this case, it's Acme Grocery Shop. And here you're going to write out the number form of how much you want to make the check out for. For this check is for $8.15. And then on the second line, you are going to write it out in words, okay? You have to write 8 and 15. 15 over 100. That tells the person cashing your check that it's $8.15. 8 over 100, okay? And then you need to draw a line to the dollars, right? So no one can add in any money or any other numbers here and take more money out of your account than you want them to. The memo line can be important. Here it's just to remind you of what this check is for right now, but sometimes it's important, sometimes it's not. If you're writing out a check to, let's say, Con Edison, or to pay another utility, you want to write your account number on there, just in case. You never know if somebody else out there has your name, and then maybe the check goes to the wrong person. So if you have your account number on there, it's very useful if just in case anything happens with the check going to the wrong account. I know that sounds crazy, but it has happened to me. And then here is your signature. This is where you would actually have to sign your name, guys. I know some of you have a hard time with script, but you have to come up with a signature. These numbers down here will be different. This number here is the bank routing number. So this is the number that's individual to each bank. So every bank has a different set of numbers down here. This second set of numbers is going to be your account number, okay? And this number here is the check number. The check number also should be up here in this corner. So let's add it. So it's 0790. The check number is important just in case Con Ed calls you and says, listen, I didn't get your check. You say, oh, no. That was check 0790. So that's important for just really your record keeping. The same thing with the memo. It's important for your record keeping. Okay, so let's check out another example, and then you guys are going to do some examples of these on your own. So here is an example for rent. So Richard Smith finally has his own apartment after he graduated from college. His rent check is due on June 1st. He currently lives at 1900 Ocean Parkway, apartment 4F, Brooklyn, New York, 11235. The rent for the month is $1,800 for his one-bedroom apartment in Coney Island. The apartment is managed by a realtor company, and the management company told him to make checks payable to this individual person. So here's what we would do with the check. So here's a perfect example of a check. Okay, so here's our check number. This is number 25. The date his rent is due is 6/1/2020. So that's when he's going to make the check out to. Then he's going to make the check out to Martin Bumyard. Okay, right? His name is right here. And here we know how much it's for. It's for $1,800, right? And make sure you write the cents. You don't want anybody to add anything in there. Then we're going to write it out like you can see in numbers. Oops, see guys? We want to make sure this line right here is all the way to the end, right? We don't want anybody to add anything. So we write it out, 1,800 over 100, so there's no cents, and then the line to the end. And then for here, it's a good suggestion to write what it's for. So this is for your June rent, and this is the address. You don't know if Martin manages several different buildings, and you want to make sure that he can go back and check the checks or check the bank records to make sure that you paid your rent. So you put the address, 1900 Ocean Parkway, apartment 4F. Okay, it's just a good practice to get into. And then you have the signature, Richard Smith signing his name. Okay, so now you guys are going to try this. You're going to try 4 scenarios for check writing, and then you're going to submit that. And you're going to do 2 scenarios for deposits. And I'm going to include several different ways for you guys to do this. I'm not sure if you'll be able to manipulate the images that I put in the Word document. So you'll have a PowerPoint that you can manipulate. If it's easy for you, if you guys happen to be lucky enough to have a printer, you can print out the images of the checks and snapshot them and send them to me that way. Either way, any way you can get this done, that'd be great. I know check writing seems like a a thing that only older adults do, but it is important. Like check writing is not a lost art, and you want to remember, a lot of the hints or the tricks that I just gave you, right? Look, if you look at both my deposit slip and my check, both written in either blue or black ink, right? You have to write in blue or black ink. Somebody once asked me if you could write it in red pen. You cannot write a check in red pen. It has to be blue or black. Any official document is written in blue or black ink. So check writing is important. You might have to write a check for your first payment in semester of college. I know I have to write checks sometimes for goods and services that don't take debit cards or credit cards. So it's an important thing to learn how to do. I hope you guys feel like this was helpful. Please remember to read the reading on checking accounts, what you need, what you don't need. And then make sure you get this work done because everything helps increase your grade. Okay? Speak to you guys soon.